Millions in Syria and Iraq are facing water shortages as the region's longest river, the Euphrates, dries up.
The Euphrates River, one of the most storied waterways in human history, has just been abruptly shut down following a discovery that has left scientists, governments, and local populations stunned. For millennia, the Euphrates has been the lifeblood of ancient and modern civilizations alike, carving its path through arid lands and nourishing empires along its banks. This sudden closure has sent shockwaves through geopolitical, environmental, and spiritual communities alike, signaling that something more than a natural disruption is at play. The event didn't unfold as a slow revelation. This was a shutdown wrapped in urgency and sealed with secrecy. One day, the river flowed as it always had. The next, it was severed at key access points, leaving communities along its stretch baffled and afraid. The waters that once defined the rhythm of daily life were suddenly still, confined behind makeshift barriers and monitored checkpoints. Before we start, smash the like and subscribe buttons for more updates. The terrifying discovery that triggered the unprecedented action lies buried beneath the surface, quite literally. While the Euphrates has long been a source of religious and mythological speculation, this time, it wasn't folklore that compelled authorities to act. It was a concrete, verifiable finding. Satellite scans and underwater probes first picked up anomalous signals along a stretch of the river near the Iraqi-Syrian border. These weren't merely geological oddities. The readings pointed to structures, artifacts, and formations that should not have existed in that region, or in this time. What appeared to be an artificial grid, deeply buried and incredibly old, was revealed under layers of sediment that the shifting water levels had slowly exposed over years of drought. Exploration teams sent to the site confirmed the initial data. What they uncovered was both exhilarating and horrifying. Deep beneath the Euphrates basin, hidden for ages under tons of silt and water, were the remains of massive stone chambers, etched with symbols that defied interpretation. Initial assessments suggested that the formations were not Sumerian, Akkadian, Babylonian, or Assyrian in origin, civilizations historically known to have flourished in the region. Instead, these chambers suggested a civilization far older, one that predated written history by thousands of years. Yet this revelation, astonishing as it was not the cause of the river's shutdown. The real terror began when the chambers were breached. Upon opening one of the structures, the team encountered what appeared to be an airtight seal that had held firm for untold millennia. Inside were massive obsidian sarcophagi, untouched by time, surrounded by mechanical constructs fused with unknown metals. The air within had a dense, unnatural quality, measured and filtered by devices that didn't belong in any known historical context. That's when the recordings stopped. Within 48 hours of the breach, communication with the exploration team ceased entirely. Surveillance drones that were sent in to investigate followed suit, vanishing from radar the moment they approached the breach zone. It didn't take long before governments in the region and beyond stepped in. The United Nations dispatched emergency advisors, while military contingents established an exclusion zone around the site. The Euphrates River was effectively closed, dammed, diverted, and patrolled under the banner of international cooperation, though the reality hinted at something far darker. The official explanation cited environmental contamination. The real reason was cloaked in layers of classification. A controlled lockdown was enforced not because of any ongoing war, but because something had been awakened or released. Residents in nearby towns were relocated under the guise of infrastructure stress, but whispers spread like wildfire. Unexplained illnesses, bizarre electrical disturbances, and sightings of shadowy figures near the water's edge became common tales among the locals. Some claimed to hear sounds at night, deep resonant hums that vibrated through the earth itself. Entire flocks of birds would take flight at once, as if repelled by an unseen force, only to crash to the ground miles away with their internal organs liquefied. Livestock born with grotesque mutations were quietly buried. Officials denied every incident, but fear could not be smothered by silence. What made the discovery uniquely terrifying wasn't just its alien architecture or the mystery of the vanished team. It was the implications it carried. The Euphrates is mentioned in many of the world's most sacred texts, often as a marker for apocalyptic prophecy. And here, deep within its bed, was evidence of something ancient that had been sealed off, intentionally, expertly, and with a clear understanding of the danger it posed. The seal was not a protective barrier for the artifacts. It was a prison. Whoever built it wanted to make sure that what lay within would never see the light of day again. But now, it has. The mechanical constructs found inside the chambers weren't simply static devices. They pulsed faintly, emitting electromagnetic frequencies not naturally found on Earth. Some began to activate as soon as the seal was broken. Attempts to dismantle or power them down failed. Materials around the machines corroded unnaturally fast, while human contact led to severe neurological side effects, hallucinations, seizures, and in some cases, comas. These weren't artifacts, they were active systems, perhaps even sentient in design, carrying out directives set in motion long before modern humanity learned to walk upright. Some theorists believe the constructs were warning systems. Others believe they were part of a larger machine, still dormant somewhere beneath the silt and stone. Whatever the case, their activation has changed the very behavior of the region. The river's flow began to act erratically in the days leading up to the closure, reversing in short pulses, defying gravitational norms. Underground aquifers rose to the surface unnaturally fast, as if drawn by some magnetic pull. The ground itself began to warm along fault lines, as if a subterranean engine had begun to stir. Seismic readings detected rhythmic tremors, too precise to be tectonic and too shallow to be volcanic. These pulses followed a consistent cycle, 13 minutes apart, each lasting 46 seconds. This pattern repeated across 3 countries, mimicking signals previously recorded only in deep ocean sonar patterns associated with unexplained subaquatic anomalies. The entire region had effectively become a sounding board for an unknown intelligence. The implications were as enormous as they were chilling. And then came the silence, an eerie, almost reverent stillness across the Euphrates stretch. Wildlife abandoned the area. Clouds refused to linger. Not even insects buzzed near the water's edge. Satellite imagery revealed a darkening hue to the water's surface, visible even from orbit. Analysts detected unusual algae-like blooms that matched no known genus. These organisms emitted low-frequency vibrations and appeared to move in synchronized patterns, forming temporary geometric shapes that dissipated as quickly as they appeared. Some scientists speculated that this was communication, a language formed not of words but of vibration, color, and pattern. As pressure mounted, global superpowers began to deploy covert teams to monitor the situation, some with orders to seize control of the discovery at all costs. Skirmishes between unknown military groups erupted in the exclusion zone. Gunfire echoed in the distance, but none of the groups claimed responsibility. It became evident that whatever had been found beneath the Euphrates wasn't just a scientific curiosity, it was a potential paradigm shift, and whoever controlled it might reshape the geopolitical order for generations to come. The terrifying discovery has reignited ancient fears. Religious leaders have taken to guarded meetings, refusing to address the public directly. Sacred texts are being reinterpreted in the context of recent events. Some scholars believe this may be the reawakening of something humanity once knew but had buried in collective amnesia. A forgotten epoch, an age before time, where ancient technologies rivaled or surpassed our own, and where certain truths were so dangerous they had to be hidden beneath the Earth's most vital arteries. The closure of the Euphrates marks more than just a logistical disruption, it marks a turning point. Humanity has stumbled upon something that challenges its understanding of history, science, and perhaps even existence itself. It isn't just a river that has been sealed off, it's a chapter of reality that was never meant to be reopened, and the implications are rippling outward, faster than any current, sweeping across governments, institutions, and civilizations like a tide of reckoning. The situation has escalated. In the weeks following the river's closure, a marked increase in magnetic anomalies was recorded across adjacent territories. Compasses in the region now spin aimlessly. GPS devices fail unpredictably. Entire power grids have experienced cascading failures with no traceable origin. In one particularly alarming incident, a surveillance aircraft attempting to overfly the sealed zone lost all instrumentation before being forced to make an emergency landing hundreds of kilometers off course. Its flight data recorder, upon review, showed a total absence of magnetic fields, something considered physically impossible in the Earth's environment. If you liked this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, leave your comments below and tell us, what are your thoughts on the Euphrates River shutdown? What do you expect happened? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching and see you next time.